Hello everyone and welcome to the Redline Racing League GT3 Series. The circus moved to Italy this week at the track of Mugello for the first 2-hour endurance race of the season. Pole position was caught by the homeboy Luca Babetto in a seemingly unbeatable McLaren, 3/10 ahead of Ruvicks and Boncha. We're not expecting to see much action here today, as in an endurance race like this the driver's main focus is just to get back home alive. Incredible start from the 33 GTR, which thanks to its over-the-top power output managed to jump ahead in the lead even before reaching turn 1. Another very good first lap from the yellow Lamborghini of Marquezing, who managed to get from 7th to 3rd and was now battling with Oscar Pink. Very unfortunate contact between the two zombie force McLarens in the first phases of the race, which had both drivers pay several positions to the opponent. As tyres were warming up, Luca was slowly but consistently gaining time on Mizia, while behind them a four-way fight was taking place to establish who will get on the lower step of the podium. Here we have the Alt JMT McLaren fighting with Toy Laley, going for a little nudge into Scarperia but ultimately banking the position. Behind them, Kev Cox was recovering for a terrible start, hoping to squeeze just past them at the first mistake. Luca had finally caught up to the white and green Nissan, going for the overtake in the same spot as his teammate, running side by side in the Palagio but managing to keep ahead at the end. This fight was costing both of them precious time, allowing the followers to gain ground on them. The Nissan kept getting back ahead on the straight, leaving the McLaren to do all the work in the middle sector. Here we can see just how much the heavier Nissan struggles, starting from Casanova into Savelli and then even having to brake into the Arrabbiate. The McLaren can keep much tighter and tighter lines and can easily gain half a second in this sector only, just to lose it all as soon as they reach the main straight. Neither of them absolutely wants to give way, not even into the fast Biondetti chicane. This almost cost Luca the second place, as Oscar Pink just casually squeezed past him before the final corner. The Italian managed to keep his position, braking late into turn 1, and this was allowing the Nissan to have a little breathing room to recover. Not long though before Luca was back into the exhaust fumes of the leader. The two resumed their battle, but by now even more drivers had caught up with them. A little nudge into Correntaio sent the McLaren on the grass, forcing him to rejoin just behind the pink and yellow AMG of Kate. The two engaged in a battle in the first sector, but a misunderstanding as to whom at the right of way caused a collision between the two, sending the pole setter and the defending team champion even further down the road. After the pit stop, Luca was back behind Ruvicks. The Italian carried out a clever overtake, pushing the red Lamborghini to follow a slower line into the Arrabbiate, gaining good traction out of the fast right-hander and getting late on the brakes into Scarperia. He then tried a similar move on Mizia, but the Nissan put two wheels on the grass and went straight into the McLaren, sending it on the gravel for the second time during this race. A few seconds behind them we find once again Kate and Nurmas Rees battling for position. By now Oscar Pink was safely in the lead, but the guys fighting for the 8th position were putting up a great show. Marquezing, Kev Cox and Dennis McVart are the names, Lamborghini and McLaren are the cars. These, for the lack of a better word, complete maniacs, after 2 hours of extenuating racing at such a technical track, dared to go 3 wide into the last corner of the last lap, where it's usually hard enough to put a single car in the correct position. The yellow Huracan seemed to have the upper hand, but the two McLaren brought us one of the closest photo finish we've ever seen in a race league, finishing 68 thousandths of a second apart. Luca meanwhile was about to throw away his entire race when a lack of focus after such a difficult race had him visit the gravel trap outside Arrabbiata in the last lap. Luckily for him, Ruvicks was not close enough to pose a real threat. And so the winner of this 2-hour endurance race turned out to be Oscar Pink in his faithful BMW Z4, ahead of a battle Luca Babetto and a relentless Ruvicks. We've had 3 different winners in these first 3 races of the season, and things are really starting to look pretty interesting. Oscar Pink is now in the lead with 59 points, safe enough from the followers, but only just so. Behind him, a tight pack of drivers all in the 40-ish points are trying to close the gap. And it's good to see how the 5 different cars featured in this championship are all present in the first 6 positions of the standings. Despite the contact in this race between the two teammates, Zombie Force is still on top of the team standings with 72 points, thanks to the consistency in results up to this moment. This is all for now, thanks for bearing with me. See you all next week at Algarve for the 1st round of the championship just before a small break. Take care!